Meanwhile, thousands of Australians participated in the anti-lockdown protests in Sydney, defying public health orders. Nearly about 3,000, mostly masked-less people, marched through Australia's most populous city, waving Australian flags and also chanting. The demonstrators flouted rules of non-essential travel and public gatherings just a day after the authorities suggested that restrictions could actually remain in place until the month of October. Now, the protest turned violent fairly quickly as the protesters threw potted plants and water bottles at the police officers. Some others physically assaulted the police horses, and at least about 57 people were arrested at the protest. The demonstration came as COVID-19 case numbers in the state have reached another record, with at least 163 new infections in the last 24 hours.
Anyone who feels like what's happening with the COVID restrictions is just completely removed from reality and removed from being in touch with what's on the ground, please know you're not alone. There's a lot of people who agree with you. We're here just to speak and to let our voices be heard and nothing else.
Now, after escaping much of the early pandemic unscathed, around half of Australia's 25 million people are now in a state of lockdown across several cities. Now, there is growing anger at the restrictions and also the government's failure to provide adequate vaccine supplies. New South Wales, Australia's most populous state, has been 4 weeks into a lockdown to contain an outbreak of the Delta variant of the coronavirus. The state appears poised to extend a lockdown that was due to end on the 30th of July. Despite its struggle with a spike of infections. Most of the Delta variant, Australia has managed to keep its epidemic largely under control. About 15% of the Australians have been fully vaccinated, a rate that is well behind many other developed nations. The government is, of course, targeting full vaccination of the adult population by the end of this year. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.